another comment that I got is suggesting that why don't I make an interview from Old B or get a cameo appearance of Old B. He don't want to be interviewed because he don't want you to know that he's fat. Today is Thursday, August 20, 2020. I'm going down now to check on my fencing project. I got a couple people complaining that my videos are getting too long. And I gotta remind you that I have now Old B as the editor. It's not my videos anymore. And if you don't like the long videos, just leave in the comments. So I could show him that, look, they don't like your video style. Then I could sack him.
Now, a lot of people as well do like his videos, but yeah, those two people that don't like it, leave in the video, leave in the comment that you don't like his videos, and then I could show it to him, then I got reason to sack him.
Now going down to my fencing project, I gotta have to let the Lloyd dig we'll be operating on the slope road, so I could do that one up to prevent the soil from moving, or I might cement that one first before I do the rest of the road, because I'm thinking of putting up the fence higher here, because what I've seen yesterday that because it's raining all the time, so it's muddy in front of the old couple's front. They are going on the side of the bungalow and jump over the fence, which is not a good thing, not a good sign, because you know what I mean. They'll be doing that all the time if it's like this, reachable for them. Oh, they've taken out their linen displays. Just leave their drawers there. And I will be putting it higher so it won't not be a jumping thing, so they can pass through here instead of on their front. So we don't want to see this all the time. I've seen that the Loy has started to do his digging. But I have to have him digging as well the footing for the slope road, because I want it done first than the digging. So I've seen that Janelle is making forms for the beams, as well as using the old forms for the columns in there. So that's what they're gonna pour today. The beams and columns. So I have the Loy now digging the beam all the way down to this sloping road, so I could put a pile of 2 or 3 lines of hollow block to hold the soil in. And then I will be having 500 centimeters to here, so I could keep the road width of the 5 meters, and from that column we will chip that off and then make another beam all the way down, and then so it holds both sides of the sloping road. Now that it's all clean up here, I realize that I don't really need, look how just shallow it is. I don't really need a riprap. I just need like a terrace thing to hold back the soil here or something, but I'll think about that. I have been looking at other designs and So if I have a beam all the way down from that and then make another beam here all the way down, then I could think about what I'm gonna do here on this slight slope. I used to think it was a very steep slope, but it's not a steep slope anymore. That now that Farmer Willie has cleaned it up, then we can see clearly the topography of the land on this side. Now, by doing it this way, I'm even thinking of cementing this road first, then the one on the front, the sloping part, so it will be all clean and tidy, and then before I do the rest of the going to the road on the front. So here, Old B is still asleep right now. So he'll be waking up soon. He'll be looking for his food. Because I want to keep this as a nice garden area. This place here with all the tall trees. And it's a flat area down there. And with cleaning up the side of the road on this side and both sides, then I'll start to have clean areas, neat and tidy areas. Then going on to rendering the walls while they're making the beams there. They'll be making the next beams going up here, and then file more blocks on this one up to the front. Before we do the beams here, so there'll be more file here and then beam on the top, and then all rendered. Then we can, there's a neat area here in the village park, this road. So I like to slowly have it neat and tidy. So by doing that beam on the top as well, and then doing the in-between column, so like someone don't have old Lito can slowly render that one as well. So it gives it more options for finishing, and then give someone work towards finishing the whole part of the village park. You can see up ahead there, Farmer Willie continuing to clear the land of JT, although he's just clearing out the pile of rubbish that he done, those mounds, and then he'll be going on to my side and then to the Turners. Because if it was not raining so hard, he could have done it faster because he could use the wheelbarrow. But right now, he's struggling to use the wheelbarrow because of the mud is sticking on and make the wheelbarrow stuck on the wood, stuck on the mud. So I had to make a string line again to where I want the beam of the road to be. I want it to be more on that side than here, so I could, it's more flexible for me if I got all that one there. Basing on this line here of the beam, and then I'll have a 500 centimeters going on this side, so it won't be right on the edge of this one here on the side. So it will be just around here where the hollow blocks is, the turning of the road, but it's gonna be a gradual turn. If you know what I mean, it's gonna be a gradual turn towards here. Not really a sharp turn. So, when he digs, if you don't put line, he'll be going in or out more. So, straw lines is a must. So there's the straw lines now. That will be the first beam lines that I'm gonna make for this road. Then 500 meters wide on this side. Yes, ano? Kilid. And whereas the boys here, they are doing the forms for the columns and in between columns and the beam on top. So I need to stay here for a bit because, you know, when you give instructions to the Loy, that's the only thing. He's hardworking, I don't doubt that, but his instructions are, he can't follow instruction if you don't keep on. And like look at Jiril, I want him to my instruction of his, clear the logs, put it on the front, make sure it's nice, and clear all the plants that can be saved, and then dig 60 by 60 columns, 60 feet, 60 cm down, 60 cm square, and I don't have to repeat myself anymore. Whereas this, I have to even check the line. But he does work hard. Ayo kay patungang batuga kay di na ta kaagi. Daplin lang kay ron. I said don't throw the rocks on the middle so the multi-cab will not be disturbed when it pass by. You can see Janelle is bringing in a couple more plywood for the beam forms, and Julito is tightening up all the forms for the in-between columns, and he's on the third in-between columns. There is 5 in-between columns on this one and 4 above beams. As of my garden in the house, Jirel is just trimming down the grass before it kills this newly planted bulb flowering things. But you can see how nice it looks now. So he's digging out the grass before it kills the Bermuda, because the Loy has no time for this anymore. Although he's not good at gardening as well anyway. So he's done a good job on this one. I could appreciate all my orchids again, and looking at it like this makes me want to buy more and fill it up, and then easy to spray because I could see them. I'm going down to the city to pick up a log cake because I ate the last slice this morning, and Old B was moaning and moaning that where is the log cake, where is the log cake. And so I said I'll just go and get one. Oh no, don't bother, you will catch the virus. I said I'd rather risk of catching the virus than live with you moaning and moaning. So like I'm going down, I'm also gonna be picking up some other takeout food that they can have alternative for the weekend. My cooking, I got a few comments asking me what do Old B do for a living, and what do Old B, is he been a construction worker or what, or builder, or is he a graphic designer, is he a etc etc. No, he's not. All he does is running his businesses and companies, and he might have a building company, but he's not the builder before, His hands are softer than mine. I'm the builder. But you know, I already told you why he's letting me take the lead of all this building work, because he's worried that when something happened to him, I will be left that I don't know how to do anything. He wants me to be able to just survive if something happened to him, that I could run it like he did when he ran his own businesses. He got a lot of businesses when he was younger, and like I said, he retired at the age of 40 years old, and he's not even on a pension age right now. And we are now, our income is coming from all his passive properties. So he had to teach me how to do properties, and I would love to learn. That's why I love to take the lead. As you can see, he is my consultant, he is my enemy, he is my worst critic, but at the end of the day, it's all for my own good, and he is doing it as a husband, friend, and even a mentor. So that's all that we're doing this for. But
I could run it like he did when he ran his own businesses. He got a lot of businesses when he was younger, and like I said, he retired at the age of 40 years old. And he's not even in a pension age right now, and we are now, our income is coming from all his passive properties. So he had to teach me how to do properties, and I would love to learn. That's why I love to take the lead. As you can see, he is my consultant, he is my enemy, he is my worst critic, but at the end of the day, it's all for my own good, and he is doing it as a husband, friend, and even a mentor.
there's two dogs fighting there. We set. And these people are just watching. And this girl is bringing firewood without looking on the back. So that's one thing that you just have to look out in this, where loads of people living. Our dogs, and number one is children, because one time my experience here, like a baby was crawling across the road because the mother was so busy yapping, and the baby just crawled over to the other side trying to go after the puppy. And I gotta have to, oi, watch your kid. And even the motorbikes that have to halt abruptly because of the baby was casting her off. So you can see how muddy is our road right now, because last night we have 3 hours of heavy rainfall. It's called the red rainfall, as we have been told in the new weather stations. For 3 hours, really heavy downpour. I hope it don't happen again this afternoon, because they're gonna pour those beams and in between columns. But it seems like the gray clouds have gone away. It's mostly blue, as you see in the horizons. They're moving a column, cemented column. And oh, that was so heavy. In fact, one of Janelle's friends had an accident last night and died because on the heavy rainfall within those 3 hours, he was driving a motorbike and trying to overtake a 10-wheeler, and visibility problem, he smacked straight to the 10-wheeler. So Janelle told me this morning, I said that's why the reason that the traffic last night was coming up here instead from down there, because it happened down there in Binalio Road going to Pitos. And you know how these young lads driving their motorbikes so fast, even if visibility problem is apparent, trying to overtake the 10-wheeler, smack it straight onto it on the front. So that's the casualties last night of the heavy rainfall, but not know houses being washed away, not a lot of landslide. So that is okay. It must have been Not really like when it's typhoon. There is no strong rains, strong winds rather, and just strong rains. So I'm here now nearing the welding man's place, so we can see the progress of my gate, because they, as you know, they already done the first panel and they are now working on the second panel. As you can see there, that's the second panel. Oh, it's almost done. They only gonna do the end of it, you know, the bottom part. So that will be a good job done, because they're hoping to put it in the end of this week, but they seem to have a delay because of there's like someone died in the family. I think the auntie of the welding man, so they have to have a burial that stopped the work. So I'm here now in our Pulang Batu area, main Pulang Batu area. This is so busy in here now because of this shop, and a lot of children and dogs are crossing the street or just staying there. The shop serves as a silent policeman, or the bump on the road that you have to slow down purposely because they're there. So the road are so muddy, everywhere is so muddy. So I gotta go straight on to this Japanese bridge. The sun be changed because it is now becoming uneconomical to repair. Come on. He put his signal light on the right, on the left. I thought he's turning on the left, but you have to do the driving for them as well. That's our fire brigade, Pulang Batu Fire Brigade. Got a lot of trucks that I made this time. It's just 12:30 in the noon time. Look, all the wash of sand on the road. That's why, you know, the slope road that I have there in the Village Park Paradise, that's why I want to cement it first, to stop all the road, the soil erosion that can be prevented when it's all done. And I could also design the drainage that I want to have down there, and also I'll have areas that are neat and tidy, because that will also open up that I will be sorting that slope part for a garden or a terrace part, you know, and that will be done there with all the beams, and then that will be rendered, and then we can be planted and all that. So I like it, like it becoming neat and tidy, and then I could buy the plants ahead to give them time to grow. So it's getting exciting for me. Something to do, exciting to do while we are on this quarantine restrictions. I now arrive here in the basement parking lot of Cebu Gaisano Grand Mall to pick up the lug cake. So I'll be going in, and they'll be checking me out for temperature, that he don't even read your temperature, just put it in your head, like it's like mechanically, just put it in your head. I'm here now inside Grand Mall. queuing up on the red ribbon cake. To get Old B's cake that he ordered. He likes, him and my daughter likes chocolate log cake for dessert. And this is their spree now that they fancy those chocolate log cake, of which I'll be getting in a minute. Those are the cakes that's available here in Red Ribbon. But I'm buying the one on the bottom, the chocolate, triple chocolate log cake. That's my family's favorite. So the triple chocolate log cake costs about, the long one is 300 pesos. Because you could also buy the triple chocolate log cake like half a loaf for 200 pesos. So you got a full loaf for 300, so it's not economical to have a half a loaf unless you're only one person eating it. So that's one of my favorites as well, but only on occasion is the Black Forest cake. There's a small one there for $3.90. The big one is $5.90. What's their new is called Yema caramel cake. That's their new one. But you can see that the Black Forest is their best seller. So finally we have a nice day. So they can pour the beam and in between columns today without the fear of gonna rain in a minute. So you can see the blue clouds coming up. So it will be a nice day today. Wow, after 2 weeks of gloomy days, so nice to see the sun again. And then we got fed up. It was so hot today, but as of the moment, yeah, it's a nice day. And we can get more work done when it's like this. So I'm on my way to I'll draw out some money from the bank first, and just for the wages for the weekend, and I'm going to pick up some takeout, so alternative to my cooking. So nice to see the roads like this, so not muddy like where I come from in the hill. It's still a bit gloomy there when I come down, but here in the city they have the sunny weather now. I'm going to my local pet shop first to get the frontline equivalent of one of my dogs. Like when I put his thing on his back, he ran away. That's why it spilled. Now he's the only one who had ticks. So I'm here going to Piper's Pet Shop, which I will get the tick medicine. So I have to wait here because they won't allow customers to go inside. Just knock on the door and then a girl will come over and ask you what you want. So this is the counterpart of the front line that I give to my dogs. This is called Alprocide. I've done my banking. I'm on my way now to Oak Ridge to pick up the takeout Japanese, which is only limited, of course, from Yushoken, in which my daughter really likes. So I'm going to the left of Oak Ridge. there's no much parking on the side, so I could park in front of Oak Ridge. So I pick up all the Japanese takeout that my daughter wants. Then I'm gonna have to pick up Old B's Indian. Then I'm on the way home. I could still catch the boys while they're doing the pour of the beam and the in-between columns. So taxi is gonna have to go on my front. I won't let him. So this is the checkpoint here in Mandawi City going to Cebu City, but usually they don't check if it's the right coding for the day, because they are on vehicle number plate coding. But in here in Cebu City, usually the establishment, if you're going inside malls, are the one checking your QR pass. They don't care about your vehicle coding. It's more on the QR pass. But like I said, I just want to be safe, so I borrowed Junel's QR pass, in which allows me to enter Country Mall, Grand Mall rather. And I had the old banger with me because it's also even. Today is Thursday, so I was able to go inside Mandawi City area. Now I'm back to the main road of Talamban, and I'll be picking up Old B's Indian, in which I have called ahead. Then a few ice creams on the way home, like Magnums. Then they're set for the weekend. So I've done all the pickup food. I got the Indian food for Old B for the weekend, and then on my way now home. Surely I could still reach the boys. I'll just get some petrol and then pick up the ice cream desserts on the way. Then I'm done. You know, this is part of my role as a wife and a mother. So I incorporate that to my busy schedule while building and managing the people and sorting all my videos. But at least I had help now from Old B doing the editing, which does help a lot. I know I torment him about it, but making him doing the editing takes it out of my time schedule. So this is Talamban. We have a nice day now, although you still can see the dark clouds glooming in the way, but hopefully it will just dawn time that the rain comes. Not like last night, about 3 hours since 8 to 11 o'clock. It was really hard for us last night. But today, again, is a nice day. I'm just gonna go to the Caltex because, you know, my old banger has been maintained on Caltex station gasoline. Well, the little one is on Shell. So it does make sense with the Caltex, because when he got his liner on the engine being replaced, the inside is really clean, as in like brand new, because of this Techron, whatever they have in their petrol. So that's why I maintain putting on this old banger is Caltex petrol. So nice day, roads are getting cleaner, the muds seems to be washed out. It's turned off for now. Done all my business in the city. I'm on the way down, going up to the city now. You can see we have a new Shell station here that's soon gonna be opening, so that will be convenient, because the next Shell station here is in San Carlos University so it's quite far. So the nearest one we have is Caltex, and that one is another way for providing us convenience here on this part of the city. I'll go this way. I don't want to go. Oh, Shit. I forgot I had to buy the sorry. I forgot I had to buy the Magnum ice cream. It's there in Gaisano Bakayan. Gaisano Groceries in Bakayan. So I just go straight on. So that's Pristina North, high-end subdivision here, and the other one is called Pribea Hills, because the high-end subdivisions are now transferring in Talamban area where we are. That's our one of the high-end subdivision here, Pristina North. That's Pribea Hills. I've done my ice cream shopping. I have to go by a Pitos because Gaisano Grocery Bakayan is right in the middle of the road. Either I have to turn around and go on the back roads or go straight to Pitos. But it seems like it's better here in Pitos as of this time because it's not so busy yet. So you can see there's not a lot of traffic yet. But that was a nasty potholes right back there. Here is the main Pitos, like you always see me drive through here. That's Flying Bee. We don't go there and have our petrol on Flying Bee because they seem to have water mixed in their petrol. A lot of motorbikes up the hill just don't turn on. So now I own the market of Pitos. I could see there's a police car up there. Perhaps they're buying things in the market. Airport police. Okay, fine. So you can see that the stairs that I featured before is still not done. It's still there. So I made the right decision to have it done with a welding man that's doing my gate right now. You can see since I order it, he's non-stop working on it. You know, because like I said, he's a retired actually welding man. He's been working abroad, but he's just doing it to keep him occupied. So if there's no order, he will be making chairs, bench, or mostly gates, and then sell it on. So me ordering a gate and another one for Old Bees, Graceland Gate, will be a challenge for him. He likes the job, he likes welding. That's all he does all his life, and I'm sure he will be happy for my business with him. So you're looking at the right. That is like the water supply station here for the Pulang Batu. It's a private owned business. Just fix my bag. Nobody's watching here now. the Santa Lucia Greenwoods Executive Homes subdivision. And that's our church, soon to be open, San Pedro Calungsod Parish. Atay. There you can see that the dark clouds is covering up the nice blue sky again, and it's now raining in the city. You can tell by the looks of it. Look at the city. It's now all covered with the gray rain clouds. I think it's really heavy downpour down there. And it doesn't matter. I'm expecting the boys or the lads now have finished pouring the columns in between and the beams before this dark rain clouds come up here on the hills. But look how sad it is. Like, there's still sunny sky left here on our place, but it's now slowly been covered with these gray clouds here. Oh, come on. Don't be as heavy as last night. But it's now 3:30, almost 4 o'clock, so it will be around an hour before this rain come up the hill. So that will be like in time when the boys will be off. Here on my garden, Jarrell has already finished transferring all the logs, and it's now looking really nice. And he's just trimming the grass. Of course, it needs trimming because, you know, I got Bermudas that the Lord don't even know how to care for it. He just I don't know. I thought they're from the hills. They know they're farming, but it doesn't seem that he knows anything about vegetables or plants. You send him over to buy some okra, he come back with the biggest okra there is, and then you can't even cut it with a knife. You need a hacksaw because it's too hard when you know that okra needs to be selected when they're young. And he select like half a kilo of okra, all very hard. I thought, like, you came from the mountain, you should know all of these things. But he's done a good job here, making my garden nice again. I like this. I'm going down now to check on my boys. I just come back from buying my food for the weekend for my family to alternate with my cooking, that in which they hate so much, of course. And, oh, come on, rain, don't be so fast coming up here on the hill. It's just 3:35 in the afternoon, and it's already, you can see the dark clouds that it's already been raining so hard in the city, and it start to get gloomy again here. Tay, uwan na po tayo. And like I said, it's good for our plants. You can see it's all green all around us, except of course for the banana leaves. They're always peel off their leaves, but you know, everywhere, that's why the weeds are really green. Rain is coming again, so hopefully the boys have done their job, pour the beams, pour the columns, and it won't be affected so much with the rain. So I could see them shouting to one another. It must have been finished now. Oh, I'm now nearing my fencing project. I've noticed a lot of vehicles going up the hill. See what I mean? So it's just the fishmongers, you know, the sellers, I mean, fish sellers, making so much noise to get the attention of the people that they are there selling fish. Beeping like it's emergency. So what's the boys doing? Okay na. So Daloy has almost finished doing all this. Right down to the road. Kanito. Unsa na mangga? Huh? Oh, I thought it's the root of the mango tree. I think it's an old one because it's already rotten. Wala, makahabuhos makamron. Alas 3 pa man. So look, Farmer Willie has already cleared most of it, but you know what I mean? This is gonna be a trench that I'm gonna put a footing beam, and I'll file a couple of line of blocks then on the other side as well. Now that I seen that it's not really that steep on the other side like I was expecting it during the time that it was so many rubbish in there, but right now it saves me from making a retaining wall, saves me from making a riprap. Now I know the topography of the land. I could change the plan that it's still nice and flat, but will not be costing me so much or using up so much of my labor here just building a riprap and the same effect. Look, it's not really that steep anymore. So I could put a terrace there, then it's leave this flat here. So Janelle is making the forms, make it right before we pour it, so it's done right. It's better it's done right than being rushed to finish and it's not right. Because you see, that's the beam, and the line of blocks in here is 11 lines of block before we do the beam, and I was now decided that we can copy this 11 lines of blocks to where the budget bungalow is before I put the beam, because right there I only put 7 lines of blocks. That's why you can see their dirt, their hangings. They're using my rebars for their pots and pans, and if I make it higher, I know it's not gonna be blocking the circulate ventilation on their place, but tough luck. I asked them to move it and they don't want to move it, so that's the way it is. But look at Farmer Willie has slowly cleared out JT's lot now. This is the last square here. So you can see, JT, your lot is getting clearer and clearer. Look, Farmer Willie is just working by himself here. This is like, he just worked for me like every 2 weeks, and then he goes back to his farm. He don't want to lose his farm, working there, and then work again for another 2 weeks. That's, he just come and go. But the new person that I'm working for me as well can do the maintenance of the gardens and do some repairs, you know. And this is quite a good team I have in here, because you cannot just, that's the thing about building in the Philippines, you need to have your own people that you have to trust, you can trust. not you have to trust, sorry, that you can trust, because I have learned so much when I was building the budget bungalow, and also even before when I started to be learning about building, about when I build my castle. I have like over 30 workers, and I just hire and fire because some filter your materials, filter your. Unfortunately, the drizzle have reached us here. You see, I'm inside the multi-cab again because it's drizzling outside. The dogs are on the back of the multi-cab. They're trying to get out and find shelter from the rain. So we will be pouring these beams and in between columns tomorrow. I'll rather have it all done properly than being rushed, you know, so we can all get it all ready with the vibrator. And there's 1, 2, 3, 5 columns and 4 beams on top of it, but on top of the columns there is the connection of the beams as well. So that's why I bought some plywood yesterday. So there, Junelle is up there making sure that the distance of the width of the beam will be the same. Come on, rain, it's been 2 weeks. Come on, get out. It was quite sunny a few hours ago when I went to the city. Now we're back to this rain again. The farmer Willie was moaning it's gonna be muddy again because he was so chopped that it was dried up because it's not so sticky. Then hopefully that he can also use he told me that, I might be able to use when it was sunny. I might be able to use the wheelbarrow now, make it faster, but it doesn't seem to. Sorry, Willie, the rain has come back again. You're gonna have to do it manually like that. Put it in a bucket and chuck it over there on the drop, the soil there. So he's there. On the last bit of JT's lot to be cleared out, the lot, but all the surroundings, we will do that last when we cut all the hedges so all the views have been seen, because it's also dangerous. It's a rainy season. The barks of the tree, if you climb on it, will be so slippery. So here we are again, rain, but we are still continuing our work. And like you say, the Lloyd has managed to dig the ditch for 40 cmd right down there. So that's how I'm gonna design it out there. See, it's not really that slopey. Then I don't need a riprap. I believe I don't, because it's too short for a slope anyway. And I will just like terrace this, and all I want to do is to protect the road, and then that terrace it where the trees are. I'll build like a wall connecting to put a beam underneath, and then like make it a flat area there, like I said, to sit down for all my viewers that want to come here and visit the BPP park. And here, this area on the bottom will be flat area, and I will build something here. I don't know yet, but I know it's a good flat area with a very high wall in which I like. Now that I've seen that this can carry on 11 levels high, that will be all be copied over there in the budget bungalow area, so I don't have to keep on seeing their dirty drawers. So I'm inside the multi-cab, so you can see that the rain is mistying up the glass. This glass here is so misty. So you can see up above that the sky is clearing out again. You can see the sunlight going through. So the rain is just passing by. But enough for us to be muddy here. See what I mean? The sunlight. So Farmer Willie was so chuffed that it was so sunny because he was hoping that he can use the wheelbarrow, but it's muddy again, so he gonna have to do this manually again because he was hoping that he can burn some of the weeds. And this plant here that you're watering is ube. I don't know who planted it, but it's just growing by itself. But when he's tried to dig it, it's already got fruit, like it's a root crop, so it's already got some buds that they said another month or two they can harvest something out of this one, so they just leave it for now, this ubi or taro. But that's the purple yam. Ube is the purple yam. So he's doing a good job here. He's starting to go on this side. He's hoping to burn it, but he can't. It's all wet. So it's gonna be a nice day again after everyone's wet and the roads are muddy. So the loy is reaching to the point where I put the first pole there. So we can build up the beam here. That's 40 deep, 40 centimeters deep. And look, it's reaching to the pole that's already a length of the, more than a length of the 20-foot rebar. Then another 20 foot over here. So that could also be poured tomorrow if it's possible, but I think the Junel will be, it's Friday tomorrow, so he can just make the rebar on this one up there after they pour the ones that they have been forming here. So we got another half hour and we're done for the day. Tomorrow is a big day. It's a poor day for the columns and beams. So there, that's the next one we're gonna pour. Junel will be making the beam on this one after they pour tomorrow. Palitan na gunya ti kag sarol dong kay sayon na siya ikaw basta na sarol. Kay mao nilang gamiton sa gawas. I told him I'm gonna buy a hoe, the one that Farmer Willie is using. Kay easier to dig that ditch than that one what he's doing. I know the ground's soft. We are now done for the day. We're now getting ready for the big pour tomorrow. So the rain just make us wet here. Right on the last hour.
Punta kung mahapon pwede na.
Di tingali eh.
Kung gano'n na.
Ha?
Yung nun?
Kung uwan nun, di maghapon ma'am. Ang baboro may basa ng uwan, di man na matuhog.
Oh, so Jarell and Willie will be helping them tomorrow so we can finish it early before the rain comes again. So this will be like the final height here, and then on the way up, and before we reach the budget bungalow, we'll be piling another 4 or 5 lines before we put the beam.